Okay, so we started the season quite well, but you and I both know that the aim for this season is the Champions League. We are looking to win that to fulfill the kind of first criteria of completion of the save. So today we really get underway with one of the bigger teams we could probably come up against in Juventus or that. I'm probably being generous of that. I don't think, have they been that good in recent times in real life? Probably not, but it's Football Manager. Anything can happen. Hi there, how you doing? Welcome to part number 12 of Club 4 of the MyCareer save here on Football Manager. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we start things off in the Premier League nice and light against Southampton. Of course, we did win the Premier League last season. Southampton currently in the league in 13th. We should be beating them, even if it is away from home. And then the big one is against Juventus, as mentioned, in the Champions League. And that will be the second game and the main event of today's video. And if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, well, it's one way to show it. Leave a like on the video for me. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this face right here. So, since you were last with us, how have we done? Well, it was the opening game of the season last time you were with us. It was those two games there. City and Norwich did quite well. I'm not sure about the tactic, the 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure about it. You can see that I reverted the game after to the 4-3-3. I went to that because although we had two defensive midfielders in the 4-2-3-1, both were on support, I didn't feel like it would work without both of them being on support. So I went back to this with a holding midfielder on defend, and we won the game. It wasn't very convincing, but we won the game away from home. Then went back to the 4-2-3-1, beat Everton 3-0. That was pretty good going. But you'll notice after the game against Norwich, we don't actually see Daniel Pitchford score at all until the Sociedad and Leicester games, where we committed to a 4-3-3 again. I did do a fair bit of messing around with tactics. There's just something that wasn't quite clicking. I wasn't necessarily getting the best out of Darvic either, as often as I'd like to, whereas I feel like actually in these two games, Darvic has looked pretty good. Shockquist has looked pretty good as well. We're going with the 4-3-3, but I have still got a 4-2-3-1 to play with in tactics as well. I've still got that tucked away over here. We can still move to that if we need to with a half-back as well. But this is what I've currently gone with. It will have Darvic as the Mazzala, which we have had trouble with, but he can play like that. He's also a decent winger as well, so I don't quite know what his issue with drifting out wide is, but Shockquist in the middle as an advanced playmaker, we need to get him forward. That's the other thing. I felt like he was being wasted being further back. Let's get him a bit further forward and more involved. These guys on support might change. I've got the right back on attack as well, which might change as well. There's a few things that might change with the tactic, but that's what I've gone with. I've also revamped our set pieces. I don't normally go over set pieces, but I have revamped them a little bit. That's on throw-ins. I have got a random long throw that I've got set up, which I don't think I will ever properly use. Do you know what? It won't let me do. It will let me do one or the other. I thought I'd set it up so that I'd have one of each, but it won't let me do it, so that's fine. I'd rather not have the long throw. But I have, as mentioned, kind of had a bit of a jig of my tactics for corners and free kicks and all of that stuff. It's not a major rejig, but I have changed how I've done stuff. Mainly I've done a little bit of exploring online as to what the general consensus is, because I've kind of always just gone with what I thought, but I thought let's actually put a bit of research in, and I've done that, and we've gone with a few different tactics as well. So none of that really matters too much though. Let's get into the actual game against Southampton, again, who are 13th. We're currently top, and let's see how we do. So we have got Owusu Oduro in goal, Kadioglu, Armstrong, Harto and Regari in defence, Gavi, Shockquist and Darvic in the middle, with Saka and Tell supporting Pitchford up front. Saka is currently our top goal scorer with 10. Pitchford only with the 4 goals. We need to do something about that. Villalba, I mean, he's an excellent... What I've noticed is, I think Pitchford is the tiki-taka striker. Villalba is the gegenpress striker. He is the full metal running up the goal striker. Pitchford gets involved with stuff. So, you know, we've got the two different variations. We've also got some players wanted as well. We'll cross those bridges if and when we get to them. We've also got a couple of injuries as well. Martinelli out for up to 9 days. Marcotta out for up to 4 weeks. Neither ideal, but we'll deal with them. Right, let's get to the game. Let's see how we get on. My hope is that we get on relatively well. I'd quite like to win this game. I don't think we should be losing it, quite frankly. I've had tweaks with the tactics as well. I've gone to attack rather than positive. We can change that as and when needed, but we're a team that I think should just be on the front foot going forward. We're better than 90% of the teams in the league. Let's show it. Also, fun fact, the table will come up at some point in this episode. Wolves are currently seconds. I built that team, just so you know. It's interesting. They've lost their best player in Michael Shockquist, and yet they're top. I don't really understand that, really, but it is what it is. Right, let's just get into the game. no messing about. Let's see how we do. Come on, boys. Let's get the job done. League table. Let's get that up. And here we go. First highlight. Ruggieri gets to Darvic. Back to Ruggieri. Nice to see that we've got a highlight starting where we want it to start. Ruggieri into Darvic. Gets it into Saka. Doesn't get there. But Shotquist is there. And Michael Shotquist, again, just getting him that little bit further forward. He had an eye for goal. He wasn't necessarily scoring week after week at Wolves when we had him there, but he was definitely a goal threat, and just having him that bit further forward definitely helps out. Remember, he was one of those 3 attacking midfielders that we had in that narrow 4-2-3-1, which, when it worked, was a thing of beauty with him and Darvic and Fernandes. It was fantastic. And then Darvic left and ruined everything. Like, it's weird. We had the perfect balance of those 3 midfielders, but once one of them went, that was it. All bets are off. Right, free kick. Ruggieri whipping it in, looking for Memphis. Tell doesn't quite find him. We do manage to get the ball again, and Michael Shotquist has gone and done it again. I'm not saying I am a tactical genius, but our superstar midfielder, who we were playing as a defensive midfielder, is now playing as a more advanced central midfielder and has just scored 2 goals inside 13 minutes after I've changed the tactic. There's 2 ways you can look at that. Number 1, I am in fact a tactical genius. And number 2, if I was such a tactical genius, I wouldn't have made the mistake to begin with. Ruggieri's gone off with a knock from the looks of things, although it looks like he's just going to be rejoining the play when the referee gives him the go-ahead. I'd quite like that to be now. Tell to Gavi. Right, Ruggieri's back on the pitch. Not got the injury icon, which is good. Darvic now, looking for options, looking to get it to someone like Michael Shotquist. If he'd have scored a hat-trick then inside the 20 minutes, I think I'd have lost my mind. It could still happen though. Right, corner. It's going to be Darvic to take. Darvic looking to whip it in. He is set to look for near post. He does find near post. Harto can't quite get onto it. He does fall to Michael Shotquist. Player of the match so far. Over to Gavi. What a goal that is from Gavi, by the way. Set as a halfback. What an absolute strike that is. Football Manager, replay please, thank you. Right, Darvic whips it in. It does get headed out. Harto doesn't do his job here, but Shotquist gets the ball, looks up, he finds Gavi over on the other side, just slices it from the outside of his boot, far post, far corner, 3-0. Michael Shotquist with 2 goals and an assist. And Daniel Pitchford's on the 7 rating. He's not even been involved in anything goal related yet. Dominant, absolute oh, I love this team. Now Michael Shotquist is in there, I adore this team. Like, yes, tactically I've not really enjoyed what I've seen since the opening game of the season, but like the last couple of games before, we had a massive we also had a massive international break in and around. Is Ruggieri going to score here? Do you know what? He's not, but he has forced an own goal from Ollie Bailey, so I'll take that. I don't know if anyone else has this on FM. When you get this far into a save, there's always a massive international break between the middle of September and the middle of October, always. And just before that is when we started to really look good and click in the 4-3-3. And I mean, you can see the results of it here. We're 4-0 up. It's just after half an hour gone. We could almost take our foot off the gas. I don't want to do that. I want us to carry on. Let's get as many goals as possible. Let's improve that goal difference. Let's not let up defensively. But, I mean, the 3 points are pretty much ours at this point. We've got a short corner here. Getting it to Darvic. And George Armstrong gets in on the action as well. Slightly unexpected. Also, I'm going to take the opportunity while we're battering a team just to point out, I'm fully aware, lighting in this video is going to look different. I don't normally have the normal light on in here. I normally just stick with the 2 lights I've got either side, which are not very good. But I'm not really happy with the lighting in the kind of recent videos. So I've had a bit of a mess around, and I thought that as well as messing with those, I've turned that on as well. I'm not too against it. It's a little bit orange, so I need to probably have a mess with the camera settings to compensate for it. But I'm okay with it, actually. I'm quite happy with it. Right, Southampton are on the attack here. We're 5-0 up. I wanted a clean sheet. We might still get a clean sheet because no, I think the way that they're running forward with the ball, it's not going to get disallowed here. A little bit disappointed we're not going to get a clean sheet in this one. But we have been attacking so often, it doesn't surprise me that we concede a goal. Football Manager, when you score so many, does usually like to let you concede. Also, I know our defence is not our strongest area. I am very much of the school of thought of let's just keep attacking because that's the best form of defence. And as you can see, we're 5-1 up, so it definitely has worked. Darvish has got 2 assists, Shockers with 2 goals and an assist, Gavi with a goal as well, Armstrong inexplicably with a goal from central defence. I'm delighted. I do want to see a bit more from Daniel Pitchford in the way of goal-mouth action. I also want to see Joel Harto get a little bit better, and we'll tell him he's doing okay. I'll tell Kadioglu he's not doing too badly either. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's just go in for a second half. Let's just go again, boys. Let's go and get another goal. Let's go and get goal number 6. Right, goal kick for them. Let's go and win that, shall we? Strand Larsen wins it, actually. I'm getting a little bit concerned that they're getting a bit more of the ball here. Not that I think that they're going to catch us, but they have just scored a second goal, and I'm not happy about it. We need to wake up a little bit here. I'm going to demand a bit more from the boys because they've scored 2 goals consecutively either side of half-time, and I'm a bit worried by the fact we've let them score twice. Again, I know our defence is the biggest issue. Strand Larsen, I tell you what, he's just run back and helped his defence out immeasurably there because Tell could have won that header. Right, Darvish tackled off the ball. Again, we're just kind of... Oh, that's a huge mistake. And Daniel Pitchford is such a frustrating striker. Technically, he's excellent. But when he actually is faced with putting the ball in the back of the net, he makes so many mistakes and just doesn't seem to find the target, despite the fact that he's finishing is good enough to do so. It's really disappointing. And now we're going to concede the third, potentially. Right, Kadioglu launching it forward, looking for Pitchford. Pitchford, I don't know if he won that, but should he have? Probably. Brereton Diaz is in. It's going to be 3. It's offside. We're lucky there. Tale of 2 halves. We've got so comfortable in that first half that we're just making sloppy mistakes now. And it's Kadioglu and Harto, I think, are the culprits looking at everything. I don't know why Harto's committed to that. He should have just passed it to Regari. He's gone out wide here for no reason. Gets it to Tell. Could end up getting a goal from it, though. Right, Darvish loses the ball. Pitchford, Kadioglu, Shockwist, Kadioglu. Somehow finds his way to Saka. What even is that? Bukayo Saka. That is one of the worst shots I think I've ever seen on Football Manager. Like, genuinely. Oh, my word. Right, we need to change something because I'm getting a little bit frustrated with our defence. I'm going to bring on Satalo, and he can partner George Armstrong for a little bit. I would love to take Kadioglu off, but I've only got Tokic on the bench. I mean, to be fair, I have changed him to... Let's change things a little bit back. So, put him on support, and I'll make one of these guys more attacking. Let's go with Bukayo Saka. Methis Tell's been okay. Let's just a little bit more of a dynamic change, but we'll make that one change with Satalo. And let's just see whether that can help us defensively. Because defensively, we've been quite poor with those 2 goals. Let's just see if we can just get a bit more of a stranglehold on the game. I'm going to demand more from the boys. I want a 6th goal in this half. Because at the moment we're losing this half 1-0. Not that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but I don't really like the fact that we've given up so much in this half, to be honest with you. I don't like the fact that they've had so much possession. I should point out, a bit of an excuse, they are at home. So you'd expect them maybe to play a bit better at home. I would expect us, however, the quality that we've got to just dominate them. Right, I'm actually going to take Noah Darvish off. He's had a good game, but I want to get Yavuz a bit more experience in midfield because he is an attacking midfielder or a striker. We need to get him some more game time. And I'm also going to bring on Conrado Villalba because Pitchford started the first half really well without really doing a lot. Certainly on highlights, we didn't really notice his presence, and I'm getting a little bit bored of him now because he should be coming good now. And this was an opportunity for him today. It's not against a very fancy team. Perfect opportunity for him to get a goal, maybe 2, and he's not done that. If our central midfielder as a playmaker on support can get 2 goals, you can get a goal. If Villalba gets a goal in the limited time we have left, I'll be even more disappointed. I don't think he's going to. Look at the time we've got left. I can't say I'm disappointed at that game because we've scored 5 goals, but conceding those 2 is a little bit frustrating. So we've still got some tactical nonsense to deal with. I mean, Harto probably is one of the most disappointing signings I've made in this save. He's good, don't get me wrong, he's a good defender, but I'd expect a little bit more from him for how good he should be and how much money we paid for him as well. And I do just feel, I mean, his ratings recently have been good. Admittedly, I think 1 or 2 of those are friendlies, but I just expect a little bit more from this guy. I really do. Maybe I need to do something more with him. I don't quite know what that is, though. That's the problem. I mean, he's been good in the Premier League. I'm probably judging him on that one game. But I do feel like sometimes I just see him and I just think, why have you got the worst rating in the team? 6.7 is not a terrible rating, to be fair, so I am probably being harsh on him. Good to see Armstrong get a goal, though. Good to see Shockquist doing really well, but Pitchford was doing so well in that game and then just kind of let it down. Again, tactically, we probably just need to work something out with him. We're going to take Dribble more off just to see if that helps out. I just feel like we're not quite close to cracking it with him. I mean, I feel like advanced forward is his best role. What was the role he had when he scored at the beginning of the season? I mean, ignore these two because they were friendlies, but you can see advanced forward here, goal a game, did really well. Down here, he was a complete forward against Norwich. I mean, he didn't really have a good pre-season as well, did he? I mean, maybe we try him as a complete forward against Juventus. Maybe we start Villalba. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. We've got two strikers who we need to try and sort kind of the problem with. And I think, I don't know, Kadioglu, do we keep him as an attacking wing back? Do we change him back to a supporting one? I don't really know. Saka didn't really do that good a job in that game. So maybe we need to do something. What am I training him as at the moment? Winger on support. I'm training him on it. And I do believe that if you go on to him, it's the first thing that comes up when you go to here. I know it's actually winger on attack. So, okay, maybe we change it back rounds. Let me go with that. Well, let's give it a go. Right, next game, Juventus, because that's apparently a good game to tweak your tactics that have been working right before. Because I'm totally sane. Don't know what you're on about. Totally sane. Smart thing to do. I'm going to stop waffling. I'll see you in a moment. First thing's currently standing in Serie A. Juventus is currently third behind Inter. Not a massive surprise. And Fiorentina. So, you know, it's not going particularly well for Juventus. So they're not a million miles away from being on the top spot. Looking at past years, they were second last year. Champions the year before and the year before that. Second year before that. Champions the year before that. Fifth the year before that, and then for the first season, or one of the first seasons of the save, they were second, and then the proper first season of the save, they were third. So they have been winning titles, but they've also had a few dips where they've not been the top dogs in Italy. So they're not currently the top dog. We need to take advantage of that, and this is the 11 that's hopefully going to do that. It is, as far as I can remember from the initial kind of look at the squad that I made when I first stop recording of the last bit, it's exactly the same 11. We're going to have Obasoda in goal, Kadioglu, Armstrong, Harto and Magari in defence, Gavi, Shockquist, Darvic as the midfield three, and Saka and Tell supporting Pitchford. Only things I've done is, I think you saw, I've changed these two around, so you're supporting, you're attacking. Everyone else is exactly the same. Let's see whether we can get a result. Now, I have got a youngster on the bench because of injuries. Let's just give him that number. I'm not really paying much attention. Let's just get into the game and let's see whether we can get 3 points to see how much we can kind of bank at this point in the Champions League. So when we go into those final couple of games, we don't need to worry about much. I will show you the Champions League table as well as the league table in proper full definition at the end of the video. What are those words? I don't think that's the right way to say that sentence, but I've said it now, so it is what it is. Bit worried about Gavi being a little bit aggressive. He is an aggressive little sausage, but I'm sure he'll be fine. And if he's not, then I'll have a good old word with him. Right, let's get into it. As it stands, after 2 games in the Champions League, we're currently very, very close to the top. Wolves having a great time, by the way. They had a really poor Champions League campaign last season, after we, of course, you know, got them to the semi-final in our final season in charge with them. It's good to see that they've built things back up. Right, Darvic with a corner here, whipping it in. Pitchford is there in the middle, and it's ended up falling to George Armstrong. It is going to be checked for offside. The flag is up. I'm pretty sure it is going to be offside regardless of any kind of checks. It's unfortunate because it would have been great to get a really early goal there. I say early, in the first 10 minutes. Pitchford does a great job here of just getting an opportunity. It's overhit from Darvic. It shouldn't be going that far in, but Pitchford gets his head on it. Kovar makes the save and Armstrong is there, but there is an offside there. It's fine though. It's an early chance. It's an early disallowed goal. Let's not let it rock us. Let's carry on doing our thing and let's get ourselves that first goal. And let's get Juventus beat. They're in the top half and in the top 8 more specifically as well. So they're having a good old start to their Champions League campaign. Right, Shockquist loses the ball but manages to somehow get possession to Harto, who again has come quite far forward, which I'm not overly happy about, but Tell does a bit of magic there. Tell into Pitchford. He had his back to goal. I don't know why he did, and it ends up being Saka who puts it in. That's what I mean about Pitchford. Any other top-level striker buries that, and instead he gets himself all in a fumble. He's there as an advanced forward. This should be his bread and butter. He just runs a bit too far forward, gets himself in a fumble, hits the post, and we're a bit lucky that Saka was there. If I hadn't changed Saka to attack, would he have been there? Maybe not. So, again, not claiming tactical genius here. I'm just pointing out the facts. Right, free kick here. Darvish is going to have a crack at it. No, he floats it in. Michael Shockwist is on the end of it. And it's 3 goals in 2 games. The tactic is working purely for the fact that he's getting involved in more stuff than he should be. Oh, I'm delighted with it. I was expecting this to be a goal. It's not. Pitchford was a bit of a decoy runner as well. No one expected Shockwist to get on the end of it. He did, and he makes it too. I'm a bit disappointed again with Pitchford, though. Not having a good game. What I am going to do early on is I'm going to change him to a complete forward. Let's just see whether we just get him in a role that apparently is his best role, that hopefully will get him a bit more involved in stuff. I mean, he's dropped down to a 6.5, although he's gone back up again, so maybe that has nothing to do with it. We've got another free kick here. Are we going to do some more wizardry, or are we just going to go top bins on this one? I'd quite like a top bins goal. That'd make me really happy. 3-0 at half-time's got a nice ring to it. Darvish took a while to set things up. Nearly went top bins. Didn't quite get it, though. Ended up either being saved or hitting the post. Right, Armstrong goes to Shockwist. Shockwist now going to run outside. Running not his strong suit, Michael Shockwist. Delivery is definitely more his strong suit. Oh, I didn't think he had enough pace on that, but he did, as it turns out. Right, Shockwist, Harto, into Ruggieri. Yellow card for Ruggieri, has to be careful on a yellow card as well. Right, into Pitchford, who's come deep. Pitchford to Tell. Tell loses it, Darvish. It's bounded around a little bit. Darvish gets the ball here. He's going to go for himself here now with Darvish. Probably shouldn't have, but he has won a corner, and our set pieces have looked all right so far, so I'm all right with it. Okay, are we going short, or is it going to be a decoy? It's going to be, I know it's going to go short. I thought it was going to be a decoy. It's whipped in by Tell. Pitchford is there. Pitchford is good in the air in theory. The problem with Pitchford is his actual jumping isn't decent, but his height, he's only 6 foot. So it's deceiving when it says that he's a good header of the ball. Yes, he is in theory, but he's not reaching a lot of stuff, which is the reason why he doesn't necessarily always do well in aerial situations. Shockwist into Pitchford. That's more like it from Daniel Pitchford. Don't you dare disallow this goal. Oh my God, don't you dare disallow this goal. Put your hands in the air because he's gone and scored a goal. Don't you put your hands in the air. Well, you can if you want to, but the player's putting their hands in the air. It's to tell that you can tell if someone scored. You know what I mean, but if you want to put your hands in the air, go right ahead. Darvish gets the ball into Shockwist. Shockwist ends up with a really, really lovely pass here. And Pitchford he's had enough. He's just like, I'm fed up of missing these. Bang! Let's just whack it in the back of the net. And he gets his goal, makes it 3. We do have a highlight here for Juventus, though. So we do need to not switch off here like we did against Southampton. Right. Javi Guerra into Seiwald. Seiwald, his shot is blocked. It comes to former Arsenal player Tomiyasu, who I'd quite like to have remained at the club. Would have quite like to have used him. Tomiyasu now gets it from Rooney Bargi, looking for support. Ruggieri does really well to win the ball there. Gets it to Shockwist. Shockwist now just move the ball along. Gets it to Pitchford. Pitchford just holds the ball up a little bit. He's like Harry Kane if his passing wasn't very good. That is literally how Pitchford plays. And I tell you what, the fact that he scored today, I am very much a victim's the wrong word, but I tell you what, you can accuse me of definitely being ready to make a kind of really quick decision whether it's the correct thing to do or not on Football Manager. I very often will change a player's position based on one game. This one game for Daniel Pitchford has got me convinced to change him back to a complete forward. Convinced about it, because he's just gone and scored 2 goals after that change. Why would I not do that? Harto's gone and got in on the action as well. It's 5-0 again. We love a 5-0 scoreline. I think the 4-3-3 is here to stay. I genuinely do. Juventus have been absolutely bodied by us. Now, they could feel a bit aggrieved because it is 30 seconds over the allotted added time, although we've obviously scored a goal. So that will definitely play into it. But 5-0, that is fantastic. Armstrong with a disallowed goal, Saka scoring, Shockwith scoring, 2 from Pitchford, 1 from Harto, Darwich with 3 assists as well, Shockwith with an assist in there too. This is exactly the performance I wanted. And more. I don't know if I expected it to quite go this well. Now, I will just tell those two to calm themselves down. I'm going to tell Gary to kind of step things up a little bit. I'm going to tell him to step things up a little bit as well, Kadioglu. Now, I am going to make a couple of changes. Change number 1, I'm going to make one change, actually. It's going to be that Kadioglu comes off for Tokic, because I have promised Tokic more game time. I'm going to move him back to being a supporting wing back, which he is now a 2.5-star supporting wing back. That will make me feel a bit more comfortable of using him. And then the other change I'm going to make is ease off tackles for Mathis. I do that every time. And then with Gary, I'm going to get him to ease off tackles as well. And then I'm going to bring Catanano on at some point. I mean, I could bring him on now. Do I bring him on now? I could just bring him on. I'm going to bring him on now. But Gary's not exactly having a great game. Let's get Catanano on while we're 5-0 up. And let's just get him a bit more game time just so we can build that fitness up. And then we get Tokic a full 45 minutes in a game as well. Yeah, that feels like a wise thing to do. If we're going to be 5-0 up, we might as well take advantage of it. Right, second half. Let's see whether we can add to that 5. Let's also see whether we can get a clean sheet as well. That would be even better. Clean sheet in the Champions League would be great. Tomiyasu tackles it, basically passes it to Tell from Tell. Right, Shockwith goes for a shot. That was a lovely little curling effort there. Not much power behind it. He was going for placement. Ends up just going over, so the placement wasn't as good as he'd like it to be. But a nice attempt from Michael Shockwith, who is showing every bit of why I'm delighted that we signed him. Spent a lot of money on him. I don't really care that we spent a lot of money. It was money well spent. Right, whipped in. Bremer is there, just over. That's absolutely fine. Bit nervous with our defensive set piece instructions because we have changed those quite a bit. I've usually just relied on... I'm not a set piece expert, I should probably preface by saying. I usually rely on man marking. This time I've just gone with go back. It's something I've never really done on the corners. I've got zonally marking certain areas as well. Again, just a little bit of research. A few different videos recommended certain things. I thought, let's just give it a go and see what happens, because I haven't changed them for a while. Let's just give it a go. Tell's a bit tired. I'm going to bring him off. He can be rested for, I mean, I guess Waneri. Why not? He's as good as anyone. I'm going to take off Noah Darwich as well. A good game from him. Another few minutes for Yavuz would be absolutely beneficial to him, and I'll hold off on the final substitution, but I'm looking at Paniagua or Laskowski. They're the two I'm thinking we might. Do you know what? I've just thought, let me cancel that. I've had a change of heart on one of them. It'd be easier to cancel it. Tell is going to come off, but I'm actually going to bring on Iglesias, and we'll just move him and Saka around, because Saka can come and play over on this side with little issue. Let's have him play as winger on support and have Iglesias be inside forward on attack, just so we keep supporting attack that side and that side. And then, what was it? One Yavuz was going to come on, wasn't he, for Darvish? Let's do that. Yeah, that feels like a wiser thing to do. Let's just get a few more minutes for our youngster Iglesias into his preferred position as well. Right, let's carry on with the game. Let's see if we can get another goal. Quite happy with a 0-0 second half. Quite happy with keeping it at 5-0. We've been very professional. We've done the job well. They've come back into the game. What I'd quite like is if they come back into the game, that we maintain what we've got and we don't give up anything. That would be my ideal solution. Result, rather, not solution. Well, it's kind of is a solution. But ideally, I'd quite like us just to score another goal, really. But if we're not going to score a goal, just don't concede one. That would be my biggest kind of aim for this second half. Right, Tokic now. Looking to get the ball to someone. Gets it to Catanano. The two substitutes combining there. Harto now. Going out wide. He loves to go out wide, doesn't he, Harto? He's definitely a wide centre-back at heart, isn't he? Right, Gavi to Armstrong. Armstrong. He's got Tokic out wide, goes to him. Tokic. Got support there with Iglesias, who gets tackled, although Iglesias does get possession back to Tokic, back to Iglesias. Cuts inside here. He's going to go for it himself, isn't he, Iglesias? He did, and I thought with that substitution coming up that was a goal. It most definitely wasn't, but it is going to be a corner. I'm going to make the cardinal sin of substituting just before a corner, because I'm just that much of a rascal. I'm going to take George Armstrong off. Not had a bad game. I'm just doing that purely to rest him. And we'll get Laskowski a bit more game time. I need to get him more game time this season, along with Tokic, to be fair. Although he's not kicked off like Tokic has. But Laskowski has got a good future ahead of him if he gets used. Harto was there, didn't really do anything. Yavuz goes back to Saka. Saka into Gavi. Looking for another worldie like he got in the last game. Didn't quite get it though. And I think that is pretty much going to be it. I don't think we're going to get that other goal, but equally, oh, we might do. Corner. Shockwave whipping it in. Looking for Harto. Does not get to him. Right. Yavuz beats Tomiyasu in the foot race. Gavi into Harto. Harto into Iglesias. Is he going to get a goal? He is going to get a goal. It's his first of the season. It is 6 in the second minute of added time. And that is going to be that. As much of a professional performance as you could hope to see, and we've got a goal for Iglesias, which I'm really happy about. Was it Harto who got the assist as well, or was it? Did I think it was, wasn't it? It was. Joel Harto goes and gets an assist as well as a goal. What a game he's had, and 6-0 against Juventus. That will do. That is exactly what we want. Playing at home against a big team, we want to show them that we're not messing about, and that is a marker to the rest of the Champions League. I'd like to think. I could be wrong now, but there is the table. I'll tell you what, let's come out of this screen. We'll go into the proper one. And we'll just show you. We get a bit of money as well, which is good. 6 of the best. Shockwave on form again. 2 games in a row where he's man of the match. Lovely stuff. Right. UEFA Champions League table, just to quickly show you. We are second behind Wolves. Wolves, if you're interested, winning games against Astana, Legia and Lyon. I mean, compared to our games, Bayern, Sociedad and Juventus, I think we've had the harder draw. So I think our 9 points is more impressive than theirs. And I don't think you can read much into the fact that they've not conceded any goals yet, because that is ridiculous opposition that they've had. But I'm considering, by the way, that includes the Champions League finalists who beat us last season at Leverkusen. And that's a very impressive first 3 games in the Champions League. Very happy with that. And then just to kind of cover all of the bases, the league looks like this. We're 1 point ahead at the moment of Wolves, but we have got a game in hand. We have got the second best goals for. We've got the best goals against, so our goal difference is the best in the league at the moment. Wolverhampton Wanderers having an absolute wonderful time scoring goals at the moment. In terms of how the statistics break down at the moment, this is how it looks. Savio at Manchester City with 6 goals, but Saka's there as well, and Tim Prescott, who I have had a look at and looks like he could be a bit of a tasty striker in the future, with 6 as well. And then the Wolves' first player is Guilherme, who's one of their wingers, so there's no Atuesta there on that list. Average rating, Saka is the second best player. Savio is apparently having the season of his life. Ollie Bayliss, this youngster, apparently having a great time as well. He doesn't look much, but he's got a bunch of assists, as a Savio, as is Michael Shockwave. In terms of clean sheets, we are not on the top few. We've actually got Owusu Odura and Voloshin both on 2 each, so they would be top, joint top, but we did have a point where Owusu Odura was injured, so Voloshin did have to cover, so we do have to bear that in mind. Both, by the way, got a 50-50 split, which is just as good as the guys at the top here, so take that what it is. Right. That is enough waffling on. Can you not tell? I've not recorded the video in like 2 weeks. Can you not tell just how messy this video has been? We will be back for... Where do we come back for? I think we're going to have a big jump here. Because again, we're focusing on Champions League. I'd come back for Borussia Dortmund. It feels pointless coming back for Borussia Dortmund when it's only a couple of games away. So I'm not going to come back for that. We could come back for Sparta Prague and Wolves, to be fair, which is not a big. I was gonna say Inter. That's what I was going to say, but I don't think I'm gonna do Inter. What I think I might do is I'll come back for Sparta Prague and Wolves, or do, because Inter's kind of the last big game of the Champions League. No, I'm sticking with my guns. We're going to come back for Ipswich and we're going to come back for Inter. I was thinking we come back for the Wolves game. That could be quite fun. But actually, let's leave that. And I think we'll probably end up coming back around here at Molineux. That could be even funner. So the next time you see us, we'll have played hopefully a bunch of games from the Leeds game onto the Ipswich game. We'll play Ipswich. That should be a nice easy one, touch wood. And then we'll have the Inter game at the San Siro, where we'll probably end up getting battered. What fun! Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, do not forget to leave a big like on there for me and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this face on a regular basis. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. I'm stuffing up the outro because it's been that long since I recorded the video, but I will see you in the next video. Cheers.